Now, before we disappear here, question for you.
Yeah.
In years past, every year they've done the same thing. In years past, after WrestleMania, they've gone over and done the foreign tour.
Right.
This year, they've done the foreign tour prior. And I've seen people liking it, and I've seen people not liking it. I'm in the not like category because I don't think I like it afterwards. But what do you think?
I see the benefit. I see the pros and the cons to both. But actually, I think most people's complaints are probably that, of trying to watch it and they want to watch it live because unfortunately we live in a spoiler society with social media. Because I've been able to catch Raw live. What is it, 2 weeks now or 3 weeks that they've done where they've aired it? But for SmackDown, because we have to wait till 8 o'clock Eastern here in the States, I have to turn off all notifications on my phone because I was getting spoilers put into, notified and getting sent and just reading different things and trying to stay away from it in that realm. I mean, I think it's great for the crowds. Obviously, the crowds are having a lot of fun, and that does reflects in the performances of the wrestlers themselves. I feel like we've seen a lot of great stuff from the shows, but it's also one of those things that, does this hurt the bottom line for WrestleMania? And is it also something too where there might be a letdown when they come back to the States and maybe the US crowds aren't as hot? I think that's probably why they're coming back and going right to Chicago. I don't know where the other cities they are in like the 2 weeks before Mania after that, but I could see them trying to go into like hotbeds of like Toronto and New York and Philadelphia, stuff like that, to keep hot crowds coming in, because you want to keep that energy, and this is the time where they are getting more casual viewers and eyes on the product. I like the crowd singing and chanting, but I'm a soccer fan, so I enjoy that part of it. It speaks to who I am, but I can see why people would be annoyed by it. But I definitely think the start times and going live at 3 o'clock Eastern, which is noon Pacific, most people are working or in school or whatever. So it's a difficult balance, but I also get why they did it this year, because they didn't have to change the time that they go. It's a little bit earlier than they would go, but usually Mania was, late March, early April, and then they would go right after that. So
yeah, see, I don't mind the start time, and I don't mind the crowd singing. What I think happens, this is my opinion. I think that the foreign shows cater to the people that are there in that market, which makes sense. And the people that are, in America, they're getting to see one or two great segments. That's it. That's how these shows have pretty much been. We're getting a good beginning and a good ending. And in between, the fans are going crazy for stuff that I personally, okay, great. I don't care for it all that much, but they're just giving the fans what they want over there. And they're not giving the fans over here the full WrestleMania story. You understand where I'm going with that?
Yeah, no, because I feel like this year, well, and I feel like that's kind of where the WrestleMania stories are this year, that this year, like we were talking about with the main events, it is more top heavy. Like the top of the card is big and massive, but some of the mid card matches and feuds, they're there, but they're not as prevalent. Like I feel like last year there was much more to a lot of them because of how Punk was involved with Drew and Rollins, and even the Rhea match last year had a lot more behind it. there was more story to almost every single match, as where this year it almost kind of feels like that a lot of them are kind of thrown together, that like for the IC title it'll probably be a 4 or 5 man, maybe a 6-man match. They already have 2 triple threats booked. So it's one of those things that it might kind of just be how the card is set up. But I feel like that's kind of been their shows a lot this year in general, where they lead off well, they bookend them well, and sometimes there's good things in the middle, but sometimes it's just a little bit filler.
Yeah, like if I told you to name all the other matches on WrestleMania card, you'd have to think about it for a while.
Oh no, for sure.
Like we all know the main events and a couple, like Jey Uso, we know a couple other ones, but we don't know.
The title matches, the main title matches. Like we don't know what's going to happen with the tag titles on any of the tag titles, either men's set or the women's set of titles. So the women's mid card matches don't have.
This next 2 weeks is going to be just full of all those stories. to get us going.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it that way, but you're right. And really they've kind of set themselves up for that, because what else is there to tell in the Punk, Roman, Rollins story? Cody and Cena, they probably need to get physical once before Mania, but maybe not, right? Maybe not. I've seen people say, I don't see it so much maybe physical, but maybe like Cody gets a slap back like he did with Rock last year, something like that. I can see that having a moment that can go viral that'll get people in, because that's the whole idea. Get as many eyeballs on WrestleMania as possible, especially with those ticket prices. I feel like a lot of people are going to be watching on TV and at bars or through Peacock this year for sure.
It'll be fun. It always is.
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
It's always fun.
Absolutely.
I'm not worried about that part. That's all good.
No, but it was I think it's set up well, and I'm excited for it for sure. Right? We are on the road fully to WrestleMania. Raw will be there's one more Raw from London this Monday, and then back this Friday. They're back to the States, because Rey Fenix debuting in Chicago. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to see. They've put Penta over as a star, and when I saw them in AEW, I thought Rey was the one who had more potential to be a bigger star. So I'm very curious what they do with him next on Friday.
Yeah, I disliked them both.
Well, the thing is I could see there was potential there, but when you're wrestling the Bucks every match and just doing whatever they do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody put over that cage match that the four of them had, and sure, they did a lot of cool stunts and a lot of fun moves, but there was no psychology in that match. That's the biggest problem with AEW, is that it's just spamming moves as opposed to having a psychological match. And I've thought Penta has sold well and done much better in his 2 months in WWE so far. So I'm excited to see what they do with Phoenix.
That's the key, dude. Remember, I think I even asked you we were talking offline the one time, and I think I asked you, have you ever seen Penta sell like this?
Yeah, no, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we were like, absolutely not. People legitimately thought he hurt his leg at one point. Like, he hurt himself. Like,
because he never sold before.
Yeah. And I mean that's one of those things, that the environment that you're in. Like, if nobody else is selling, why would I sell? Like, shoot, if everybody else, it's like ditch day at school. Like, if everybody else is gonna ditch, well, shit, I guess I'm out of here too. I'm not hanging out in English class with 2 other people.
Yeah, now you have to sell, or you get beat up backstage for not selling. Why aren't you selling my moves? The old school way. Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Awesome.
Cool.